Welcome to the Gardens and Graveyards channel. My name is Charisma, and today we're meeting in the studio and we're working on some flower arrangements. So you just saw me do two different flower arrangements for two different occasions, and today I have those arrangements back here along with some others that I'm going to sort of weed through, get rid of the things that are no longer viable for vase life, and consolidate what we have to create a new arrangement. I will also be cutting all the stems and putting them in fresh water so that the vase life can last just a little bit longer. So what's happening is the Tibetan monks are here in our community for a week, and they have 14 or 15 main events that they share with the community. I am providing flowers for all of those events, and some community members have also brought some flowers from their gardens and from the farmers market to share. So these are all of the flowers that we accumulated through the weekend. I made one for Saturday and one arrangement for Sunday. And now I'm going to consolidate all of them and bring two of the arrangements to the pet blessing that we're going to this evening. I'll bring those home, add 3 more arrangements, and we'll bring those 5 back to the health center where the next event will be held tomorrow night. And what's happening with the arrangements is there's typically an arrangement on the donation table and on the altar that the monks set up, as well as at their feet in front of where they're sitting. And so we want plenty of fresh flowers to be available for that. And then we'll just recite, so that'll be Wednesday night. Thursday and Friday night, we'll just sort of reuse those 5 arrangements. And then come Saturday is the last event, and they will be providing a dinner for the community. It's called Monks and Momos. They're gonna make a traditional momo for us, for like everyone who has reserved a dinner spot. And so I will be making arrangements for all of the tables that people will be sitting on. So they won't be sitting on the tables. The flowers will be sitting on the tables, and so I want those arrangements will be shorter in stature so that people can see over the arrangement and have conversations. So today I'm just bringing you through the process of disassembling the arrangements, refreshing them, and creating something new with what we already have on hand. So I didn't really go into a lot of detail when I made the first 2 arrangements. So as I take them apart, I'll let you know what kind of flowers and fauna that are being used in the arrangements, and then we will start the process over again. So to begin with, I'm going to kind of clear the table. This box actually has 5 or 6 vases in it with flowers. So I'm going to set that down on the ground. We'll disassemble one vase at a time, and we'll put the fresh stem, or we'll cut the stems and we'll put them in fresh water, and we'll discard anything that's limp, falling apart, that kind of thing, or dried up. Those types of things won't go back in any new arrangements. This is actually a really fun creation that I discovered. This like folded up box, not with the plastic in it. This box kind of folds up. It has a hole like this. You put there's a picture of it. You put your seatbelt around here, click it in. You put the arm or the chest piece behind the armrest, or the headrest, so that it doesn't knock into the flowers. And then the vase goes in here, and it holds it so well with this particular arrangement with this really thin stem. I just grabbed some of these plastic pillows that come in like your Amazon boxes and stuffed it around the edges to really hold that little stem. But fantastic little setup there. It's called Buckle Me In, Secure Your Flowers or Plants for a Safe Ride Home. It says it's by Syndicate. This was actually given to me by someone. So I'm really looking forward to trying to find it and purchase a few more, because I would love to have like 3 or 4 of them. Otherwise, you're just sort of like trying to nestle them any way you can to transport them, and it's not always the easiest task. Okay, so I have a fresh bucket of water here with some floral preservative in it. Just set this there. And I'm just gonna slowly pull through here. Anything that needs to be discarded we'll throw in here, and then we can pop it in the compost in the end. This particular arrangement was put in floral foam. I don't typically use floral foam, but because the vase was so wide and shallow, it's really the best way to keep flowers, you know, in a stable situation. I'll also say it's not completely necessary. If this was an arrangement that I was keeping at home and it was just going straight onto a table and it wouldn't get moved around, I probably would have just carefully arranged it and packed it in really well with lots of greenery instead of the floral foam. But because I was transporting it across town, it got moved around quite a bit during different ceremonies, and then it had to come back home without, you know, completely falling apart. So I chose to use the floral foam. All right. So anything that's limp and funky like that, just there's really no reason to keep it. Yeah, there's just... But for instance, some of these are just sort of limp. And of course the foliage is limp. Sometimes, sometimes it's worth it just to have a little bit of color to help expand the arrangement when, you know, you want to repurpose something. With the snapdragons, you could just pull off the old blooms, cut their stem so it could soak up more water. We could keep reusing them. logelia in here, which made a really beautiful addition, because they had these dark burgundy flowers that reflected the snapdragons, but they're spent. The greenery still looks pretty good, so I think I'm just gonna remove any spent flowers off of them and hang on to the greenery. The young Gaultheria, the new growth, got limp, but we still have some of the older stems. Everything in this arrangement, aside from the white chrysanthemums, these flowers, came from my personal garden. And the chrysanthemums I just picked up as discount plants at a big box store. They were in pots like this, and they were designed for graduation gifts. And so I just went through and saw if there were any that I could salvage for the arrangements. Anyhow. Okay. Okay, so this group of flowers came from a community member, and they came from her garden. So we'll do what we can to salvage some of these as well. This is some kind of a mint. She also has some snapdragons in here. Fun. This is some kind of a petunia. When the flower looks like this, they're about to drop all their petals, and they're not really going to perk up again. I'm not entirely sure what these yellow flowers are. They remind me of calendula, possibly. Okay, so I'm just gonna use this vase with some more water in it to preserve these plants. So we have some fern fronds in here. Fern fronds really don't last in a vase for more than a day. And these have been in there for 3 days, so they're really looking worse for wear. Oh goodness. They also had a bleeding heart in here, which looked really beautiful for a few days. You can see that it's spent now. Okay, so they have a valerian in here. A couple of them. Got sweet peas in here, which the texture is really fun. So I'm just cutting off the ones that are spent. And keeping that kind of vining, twining look. Oh. Rough. And then they've got some chamomile, which for right now I'm just going to cut the main stem, and when I reapply them I'll probably cut them down smaller. These two arrangements came from our local farmers market. So, let's see. This fern doesn't look so bad. Got another snapdragon. Another snapdragon. This is a foxglove. This is another sweet pea. I'm not sure what this is. Super fun. Okay. So I'll look a little limp. Good. And then these lilies still look pretty good. These Canterbury bells, look at those. Aren't those beautiful? Wish I knew what variety that was. Really lovely. This looks like a Veronica, maybe. This is another foxglove. Sweet pea. This fern looks okay. This fern, not so much. Let's see, the Veronica. Not sure. This looks like, maybe this is a phlox. I'm not sure. Just peel off the limp leaves. And then we'll just take this lily, it's failing, off of there. One way to preserve your lilies in a arrangement for just a little bit longer is to take off these pistons, the pollen pieces. Just pop them off. You could leave the stamens. It does stain, so be aware of that. And it can be sticky. There you go. Okay. We just got one more arrangement to disassemble. And this whole arrangement came from my garden. And I wanted it to stay upright, so I put a rubber band on it. I put some tape as a frog. We'll just lay it down this way and pick through it. I don't know if there's much to salvage at this point. This one went with us to the smoke ceremony, and it fell over a few times in the wind and lost the water, and you know, that's not ideal for flower arrangements. Looks like the huckleberry stood the test of time though, so we'll hang on to those greenery pieces. Sneak them out of there. The eucalyptus started drying. The alstroemeria looks okay. The rest of this stuff is kind of falling apart. So let's just alstroemeria, cut off the ones that are done. And we'll just give these guys a little refresh. Okay, so I want to make 2 arrangements for this afternoon. One that will sit on the donation, or maybe I'll make 3. One for the donation table, one for the altar, and one to sit at the foot of the geshe. I'm going to get 3 vessels, and because they're gonna do we're only gonna be there for a short period of time, we do have to bring these back home. I'm gonna make them fairly simple. I think we'll just go with these mason jars, this little short squatty vase. All right, so let's begin. The first thing we want to do is create a structure with green foliage, or some sort of greenery, some sort of fillers, I guess you would call them. I have this variegated euonymus that I want to use. So I'm going to create a structure of euonymus. Really want this to be really compact. So we're just gonna with woody structures, cut the end, but we can also cut up into the stem to open up more cambium so that they can take up even more water. By using this woody stem base, we're basically creating a frog for the other flowers to sit inside of. Okay. I want to use the plants that are kind of on their way out first so that we get the most use out of them. So let's see, I'm going to use these green ferns. Let's do this. also have a little stockpile of plants and greenery off to the side here that I can be using. I think that is good for vase number 1. There we go. Number 2, down. Now this sweet little one, I'm going to use up these chrysanthemums. Okay, there we go. Super cute. Fun. So for tonight's blessings, pet blessings, we have these three. Let's just set these to the side. There we go. So I will probably bring you along for the rest of these. I don't know if it's going to be a two-part thing or if you're going to see all the flower arrangements in one video. But if it's a two-part thing and we're done for today, then I hope you are celebrating your life, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.